Bernard "Bernie" Kerik, the former New York City Police Commissioner who led the NYPD during the darkest days of the September 11th attacks, has passed away at the age of 69. Kerik died on May 29, 2025, after a private battle with illness. He had been hospitalized since May 6th, and although he was expected to recover, his condition worsened unexpectedly. His passing was confirmed late Thursday evening, prompting an outpouring of tributes from across the country. New York City Mayor Eric Adams shared his condolences on social media, writing, "It was just this afternoon that I stopped by the hospital to see Bernie Kerik, my friend of nearly 30 years, before his passing. He was with his loved ones who are in my prayers tonight. He was a great New Yorker and American. Rest in peace, my friend." FBI Director Kash Patel also paid tribute, calling Kerik a warrior, a patriot, and one of the most courageous public servants this country has ever known. Kerik will forever be remembered for his leadership during the September 11th, 2001 attacks. Having served just 1 year as NYPD commissioner before the tragic events, he was thrust into an unimaginable crisis, leading rescue and recovery efforts after the deadliest terrorist attack on American soil. His strength and resolve during that time became a symbol of hope and courage for millions. Under his command, the NYPD stood tall in the face of loss and chaos, working tirelessly to protect and comfort a grieving city. But Bernard Kerik's life was much more than one defining moment. His 4-decade-long career in law enforcement and national security tells a story of service, success, setbacks, and ultimately redemption. Kerik began his journey in public service in 1986 when he joined the New York Police Department. Born in Newark, New Jersey, to Patricia Joanne and Donald Raymond Kerik Sr., a U.S. Army veteran, Kerik's path into law enforcement was shaped by a sense of duty and resilience. He rose through the ranks quickly, eventually catching the attention of Rudy Giuliani during his mayoral campaign in the early 1990s. At first, Kerik served as Giuliani's driver, but his sharp instincts and unwavering loyalty earned him greater responsibility. Giuliani later appointed Kerik as chief of staff and head of security for the New York City Department of Correction. In 1998, Kerik was named commissioner of the department. Under his leadership, the department saw a reduction in violent incidents, including slashings and stabbings. His implementation of statistical tracking mirrored NYPD methods and brought measurable results. In 2000, Kerik reached the pinnacle of his law enforcement career when Giuliani appointed him police commissioner of New York City. Just a year later, the unimaginable happened. On the morning of September 11th, 2001, the world watched in horror as 2 planes struck the World Trade Center towers. As buildings collapsed and chaos spread, Kerik stood strong. Alongside Giuliani, he became a national figure of composure and bravery. Kerik's leadership during the 9/11 attacks earned him widespread praise. He guided the NYPD through unfathomable loss and devastation. Later, he was awarded more than 100 commendations for bravery and service. In recognition of his crisis leadership, President George W. Bush appointed Kerik to oversee the establishment of a provisional police force in Iraq following the 2003 U.S. invasion. In 2004, Bush nominated him to head the newly created Department of Homeland Security. It seemed his career was still climbing, but the nomination was short-lived. Kerik soon withdrew after disclosing that he had hired an undocumented nanny, which sparked further scrutiny. Unfortunately, Kerik's later years in public service were marred by legal troubles. In 2007, Kerik was indicted for tax fraud and making false statements to federal authorities. Prosecutors accused him of accepting unreported gifts, including home renovations, from individuals with alleged ties to organized crime. In 2009, Kerik pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 4 years in prison. He served 3 years and was released in 2013. Despite these setbacks, Kerik never faded from public view. In 2020, President Donald Trump granted him a full pardon, restoring his name and allowing him to re-enter the public conversation as a vocal advocate for law enforcement and criminal justice reform. Following his pardon, Kerik became a regular guest on conservative news outlets and participated in national discussions on public safety. He continued to back former President Trump and voiced support for election-related claims that were widely disputed. Still, he found a way to repurpose his experience, speaking out about the criminal justice system and advocating for second chances, something he had lived through firsthand. Beyond the public controversies and political affiliations, Bernard Kerik was a devoted family man. He is survived by his wife, Hala Kerik, and their 3 children, Celine, Angelina, and Joseph. To those closest to him, Kerik was not just a public figure, but a husband, a father, and a man of conviction. Former Mayor Rudy Giuliani, a longtime friend, expressed deep sorrow over Kerik's passing. He recalled their last conversation. Kerik whispered, "I love you, boss." Giuliani, visibly emotional, said, "I am completely heartbroken. The comforting aspect is I know he is with God and he is no longer in pain." Despite the controversies that surrounded his life, Kerik's career remains a powerful testament to resilience. From the streets of New York as a narcotics detective to the highest levels of leadership during one of the nation's greatest tragedies, Bernard Kerik served with passion and purpose. His leadership following 9/11 left an indelible mark on American history. His later struggles with the law reminded many of the complexities of public service, where achievements and accountability must coexist. In the end, Kerik's story is not just about triumph or scandal, but about humanity. It's about a man who saw the worst of the world, stood strong when others fell, and kept moving forward, even when the road became rocky. America has lost a dedicated public servant. Bernard Kerik's legacy will live on in the lives he touched, the city he protected, and the lessons he leaves behind. Thank you for watching. If you found this tribute meaningful, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue to share important stories and honor the lives of those who shaped our world. Hit the bell icon to stay updated on future videos. And until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.